The mountain range of Thornwick had been home to dragons for centuries, long before humans settled in the valleys below. Among these ancient creatures, none was more feared than Emberus, a crimson dragon whose scales gleamed like molten rubies in the sunlight. She had nested in the highest peaks, far from human villages, raising her 3 hatchlings in solitude and fierce protection. Emily was only 8 years old when she first discovered the dragon's lair. The villagers had warned her countless times never to venture beyond the Silver Stream, where the safe meadows ended and the dragon's territory began. But Emily had always been curious, and on that particular autumn morning, she had followed a trail of unusual purple flowers that led her higher and higher up the mountainside. She hadn't meant to find the cave. She had simply been collecting the flowers, their petals shimmering with an iridescent quality she had never seen before. When she looked up from her basket, she found herself standing at the mouth of an enormous cavern, its entrance framed by ancient stones covered in moss and strange markings. Inside, 3 small dragons tumbled over each other playfully. They were no larger than hunting dogs, their scales a lighter shade than their mother's soft coral and pale gold with hints of silver. They hadn't noticed Emily yet. Too engrossed in their game of chase, Emily gasped, and the sound echoed through the cave. Instantly, the hatchlings froze. Their heads swiveled toward her in unison, their eyes wide with curiosity rather than fear. Before Emily could even think to run, a thunderous roar shook the very foundations of the mountain. From the depths of the cave emerged Emberus, her massive form blocking out the light. Her eyes blazing with protective fury, Emily stumbled backward, her basket falling from her hands. The purple flowers scattered across the cave floor, and with them spilled something else, a small cloth pouch she had been carrying. The pouch split open, releasing a cascade of glitter that Emily had collected from the craft fair in the neighboring town. She had been planning to use it for a school project. The glitter caught the light streaming into the cave, creating tiny rainbows that danced across the stone walls. The effect was mesmerizing, like stars had fallen to earth. The hatchlings' eyes went wide with wonder. They had never seen anything like it. One of them, the smallest with coral-colored scales, took a tentative step forward, then another step. Then, with complete disregard for their mother's warning growl, all 3 hatchlings bounded toward Emily and the scattered glitter. They didn't approach Emily with aggression. Instead, they began rolling in the glitter, their tiny claws gently batting at the sparkling particles. Watching them float through the air with pure delight, the smallest one accidentally sneezed, sending a puff of glitter into the air, which only made the other to chirp with what could only be described as laughter. Emily remained frozen, not from fear now, but from amazement. The hatchlings were beautiful up close, their scales reflecting the glitter in magnificent patterns. One of them, the golden one, approached her directly and nudged her hand with its snout, leaving a trail of glitter on her palm. Emberus watched all of this unfold, her massive body tensed for attack, her maternal instinct screaming at her to protect her young from this human child. She had lived for 300 years, had seen humans hunt dragons, had lost family to their weapons and greed. Every fiber of her being told her to strike, to drive this intruder away. But something stopped her. Perhaps it was the way her hatchlings showed no fear, only joy. Perhaps it was the genuine wonder in the child's eyes, free from malice or greed. Perhaps it was simply that in 3 centuries of life, Emberus had never seen her babies so happy, so enchanted by something so simple as scattered sparkles of light. Slowly, deliberately, Emberus stepped aside. Emily looked up at the massive dragon, meeting her eyes. In that moment, an understanding passed between them, one mother to a child, a recognition of innocence and pure intention. "They're beautiful," Emily whispered, her voice trembling slightly. "Your babies are so beautiful." Erling had been searching for Emily for over an hour. As the village's young apprentice to the blacksmith, he had promised Emily's mother he would keep an eye on the adventurous girl. When he finally found her trail leading up the mountain, his heart had nearly stopped with fear. He arrived at the cave entrance out of breath, ready to pull Emily to safety, only to freeze at the sight before him. Emily sat cross-legged on the cave floor, surrounded by 3 small dragons covered in glitter. The dragons were showing her their tricks, little puffs of smoke, tiny flames that didn't burn, short gliding flights round the cave, and standing guard, but not threatening, was Embers herself, Emily, Erling called softly, afraid to break whatever spell had been cast. Emily turned to him with the brightest smile he had ever seen. Erling, look. They love the glitter. Isn't it wonderful? The smallest hatchling, hearing the new voice, scampered over to investigate Erling, leaving tiny glittering footprints across the stone. Erling knelt down slowly, and the dragon sniffed his hand before deciding he was acceptable. It left a smudge of glitter on his palm, marking him as approved. From that day forward, everything changed. Emily returned to the cave regularly, always bringing small gifts, more glitter in different colors. Shiny pebbles from the stream, ribbons that caught the wind. Erling accompanied her, first out of duty, then out of genuine friendship with both Emily and the dragons. The fierce dragon mother who had once been the terror of Thornwick became something else entirely. Not tame, never that, but understanding. She had learned what Emily knew instinctively, that sometimes the most magical connections happen, not despite our differences, but because we choose to see past them. And the hatchlings? They grew up knowing that not all humans were threats, that sometimes friendship came in unexpected forms, and that the world was full of wonders as simple and profound as glitter dancing in the light.